Picture the scene. You're playing a new game and you think you're getting the hang of it. It's early days, but you've got confidence in your skills. And then you run into a rock-hard boss who suddenly makes you realise you're not even close to mastering this game by handing you your ass, maybe wrapped in some nice ass wrapping paper, making it appropriate for gifting. We've all been there, particularly with these 7 hardest early bosses that were a total wake-up call. Please proceed to watch, enjoy, and be warned, there are spoilers ahead for the following games.
Do your job, Zangetsu. You need to put a stop to Alfred.
And I will. But you listen to me, Shardbinder. If you value your life, then stay out of my sight.
If this boss were an actual wake-up call, he'd be the hotel front desk calling at 4 AM at 200 decibels and shouting at you until you're dressed. Also, you didn't ask for a wake-up call, and you're not staying in their hotel. To put it another way, Castlevania-adjacent side-scroller Bloodstained Ritual of the Night gives you 2 boss encounters in the first couple of hours, and one of them is arguably the hardest fight in the whole game. The other is a 50-foot colossus that is half lady and half sea monster, who is, by comparison, a stroll in the park. Not too long after you've semi-casually defeated that first boss there, you'll happen upon a stranger with an eerily familiar voice.
Stop right there.
Snake?
I knew what you are. That ghastly air about you. You reek of sorcery, Shardbinder.
So, not Snake? This is in fact very much not Solid Snake, but instead a powerful demon hunter samurai by the name of Zangetsu, who was instantly taken against you and is incidentally voiced by your boy David Hayter.
Me? I'm your executioner.
Zangetsu, it turns out, is harder than a diamond-coated bastard. Moving fast, hitting hard, and hookshotting around like some kind of video game protagonist. A boss fight against the actual legendary Spec Ops soldier Solid Snake might actually be easier, if only because Snake never lit his sword on fire. Possibly Zangetsu is here to teach you a savage lesson about learning boss patterns and anticipating boss moves before you get any further into the game. All we can say for sure though is that you'll be glad when you've ground his health down far enough for your pal Dominique to come in and tell him to knock it off because you're ostensibly on the same side.
Cease this at once, Zangetsu!
Yeah, Zangetsu, that's what I was trying to say.
I was bored with her anyway.
Yeah, well, me too. Very bored.
A side-scrolling run-and-gun game dressed as an old-timey cartoon, Cuphead makes no bones about being a hardcore test of your skills and focus. So no one goes into Cuphead totally oblivious to what's in store, except the occasional gamer who has never heard of it before, but just so happens to be a big fan of cups. RIP that guy. Even so, as you near the end of the game's first island, having familiarised yourself with the gameplay that, although demanding, maybe hasn't knocked you flat on your butt every 5 minutes, you might find yourself getting a little bit too confident, a little bit too relaxed, to which Cuphead says, "Not on my watch."
This match will get red hot. Here goes!
So we meet Cagney Carnation, a viciously angry orange flower who heralds the pivotal moment in Cuphead when shit starts getting real. This is the boss that truly sets the stage for the bosses to come in Cuphead, pelting you incessantly with on-theme projectiles, forcing you to track multiple on-screen hazards, and threatening you with hay fever when you die. Yeah, well, I'm already dead, so do your worst. And sure, Cagney claims to be a carnation, but also he contains giant spinning sycamore seeds, like so, and weaponized acorns, so presumably he's actually some kind of mutant hybrid crossbreed of sycamore tree, oak tree, carnation, and utter jerkhole. As a wake-up call and a statement of intent for the rest of the game, Cagney Carnation is loud and clear. If you can handle this and you like it, there's lots more coming your way. If you don't like it, well, my friend, good luck finding another game about cups. Can't be done.
Greetings, cyborg.
Show yourself.
Blade Wolf of Metal Gear Rising Revengeance fame is no ordinary giant robot wolf. No sir, because this quadrupedal robot is powered by an advanced AI that gives it full mastery of human speech, like ChatGPT with a chainsaw tail.
I am IF Prototype LQ84I.
IF Prototype.
Interface Prototype. All autonomous UGs feature high-level onboard artificial intelligence. An additional prototype interface enables verbal communication. I possess an intellect far beyond human reckoning.
Unlike ChatGPT, Blade Wolf is never called upon to plagiarize a high school essay for someone, being instead tasked with killing you, Raiden, just as you're finding your high-heeled cyborg feet at the start of the game.
You will die!
Blade Wolf, or LQ84I to his friends, is only the second boss in Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, but he will take you to absolute pieces if, until this moment, you've just been running up to enemies and slashing at them until they stop moving. Such an approach will cease to serve you once you square up to Blade Wolf, and if you haven't learned to properly parry, then may your cyborg ninja god help you.
What happened? What is going on? Raiden, answer me! Raiden! Give me!
It's a rude awakening, especially for first-time Metal Gear Rising Revengeance players who hadn't gotten the point of parrying, and now are getting the point of one of Blade Wolf's many, many pointy bits.
I will obliterate your consciousness.
Ow! Alright, I get it! Parrying! So let that be a warning to us all to not underestimate the power of robotic wolves running on advanced AI, and to not add a chainsaw tail to ChatGPT 5.0.
I must destroy you.
And if you think those Silicon Valley eggheads aren't thinking about it, you're dreaming.
Shut up! SI Pizza. Jabba doin nilin yama. Red!
If there's one thing all gamers love, it's a boss who repeatedly becomes invulnerable and then heals himself. That's right, check your calendars, it's opposite day. Has it been a year already? This explains the depth of affection among players of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt for Nithral, a boss that Geralt and his sorceress pal Kira stumble upon at the end of a dungeon early in Act 1.
You're stubborn, Tuan.
A member of the titular Wild Hunt, Nithral was left behind by the Wild Hunt to kick it in these elven ruins and, should the opportunity arise, ruin Geralt's entire day. Which he does by catching the player in an extended boss fight when Geralt is only level 5 or 6, and by having a nasty habit of sealing himself in a magic bubble of invulnerability when things aren't going his way.
Geralt, look! He's opening a passage!
Stay calm. Focus.
Better yet, while Mr. Bubbles is invincible, he's also conjuring mystical portals and summoning angry dogs to keep you busy while he heals himself, undoing all of your good work so far. You don't get another shot at Nithral until you've dealt with his canine cronies, so enjoy watching his health bar tick back up while you whomp these dogs. Then rinse and repeat until your grim work is done. It's an early boss fight that says, show me you know what you're doing, then show me it again and again, because this self-healing boss is going to make you work for it.
Are you well and whole? I'm here.
Not necessarily. Let's look around.
If I've my knickers on straight, this looks like the elves' laboratory.
Imagine doing that entire boss fight without your knickers on straight. Sounds uncomfortable.
Politics in the world of side-scrolling beat-em-up Final Fight is refreshingly straightforward. When the criminal gang Mad Gear overruns Metro City, Mayor Mike Hagger simply takes to the streets with two of his most muscular and tightly shirted constituents to solve the problem by punching it 1 million times. Or at least that seems to be the solution when you first start playing Final Fight. Because in that first level, simply walking up to people and punching them hard in the face does seem to get the job done. It's even effective against the first boss in the game, a fellow named Damned, whose offensive arsenal mostly consists of sitting on a wall and screeching at you with a series of the weirdest laughs ever uttered by a human being. Head on down into the subway for level 2 and you'll still be riding the high of defeating Damned, right up until you kick through a fence and find yourself, quite unexpectedly, in an underground wrestling ring, facing a man who is apparently called Sodom, which is quite the nickname, unless it's his actual name. Short for Sodominic, maybe? Anyway, Sodom is a real wake-up call for Final Fighters who've just been walking up to people and slowly hitting them, because he's fast, powerful, and as you've probably noticed, has 2 massive swords. Worst of all, he can dash across the screen at lightning speed, smashing into you and knocking a huge chunk off your health bar with almost no way of countering. I mean, there's a reason Sodom is playable in Street Fighter Alpha and Damned isn't, is all I'm saying. Sodomus? Sodomichael? It's got to be one of these.
The shattering ensued, a war that wrought only darkness. The Elden Ring was broken. But by whom? And why?
The biggest and most obvious difference between Elden Ring and the Dark Souls games is that Elden Ring has a fully open world. Souls games tend to have a network of mostly linear routes around the game world. Elden Ring, meanwhile, dumps you in a big open field and says have fun, or more realistically, have a miserable time, but weirdly enjoy it. What that also means, however, is that at the start of the game you can effectively jump on your horse and barrel your way past quite a lot of the enemies who you should really be slowly and methodically fighting, and learning the attack patterns of, and harvesting runes from to level up with, like From Software expects you to. Try to skip ahead too far though and you'll come up against Elden Ring's test to see if you've got the chops needed to tackle the rest of the game. A horrible, horned, hairy hombre called Marget the Fell Omen.
Emboldened by the flame of ambition.
Marget, who can be found waiting for players at the entrance to Stormveil Castle, is one hell of an early boss fight, put there to make sure players know exactly what kind of game this is. One where the enemies hit hard, jump high, land awesomely, and talk like they swallowed a copy of the Silmarillion sideways.
Someone must extinguish thy flame.
If you want to defeat Marget, you'll absolutely need to understand how combat in Elden Ring works. Running up to him and slashing away wildly like you're pruning an unruly hedge is only going to get you flattened.
Put these foolish ambitions to rest.
You'll need to show patience, learn his attacks, and yes, harvest some runes and level yourself up if you want to get to the rest of the game, which, to be fair, contains things much harder and more brutal than Marget. So really, he's doing you a favour.
Put these foolish ambitions to rest.
I know it doesn't seem like it now, but trust me.
It is difficult to take Devil May Cry 4's Angelo K very seriously, partially on account of how absolutely rubbish he is during the fight at the start of the game.
Kyrie! Go with your brother and get out of here!
I will return with help! You stall him until then!
And partly on account of his bizarre haircut and beard combination, which is so laughably stupid looking, it was literally done as a joke in a 50-year-old Monty Python movie. Maybe look elsewhere for style inspo. Angelo K is initially supposed to be on your side, getting his sister and your love interest Kyrie to safety in the early part of the story.
Credo, take care of Kyrie. I got this.
So when you meet him not long after on a platform high above the sea, you could reasonably expect a friendly welcome.
That's a look you shoot your enemy.
Okay,
Well, then let me ask you this. What exactly is the Order after? And who the hell is Dante? You do not demand answers from me!
The only answer I'm looking for is who told you that beard was a good idea. It turns out Credo has taken part in what's called the Ascension Ceremony, and has the power to transform into a sort of angel-looking demon thing, completely changing his appearance, except for the fact that he still has a stupid beard.
I have been chosen to take the next step in evolution, to become something far more than just human.
That's the bit he kept! What follows is a boss fight where Credo proves to be far more capable with a sword than he was in the intro. You may well have been cruising through DMC4 up until this point, but Angelo is a proper test of your swordsmanship. Fight well enough though, and you'll defeat Angelo, at which point he reverts back to his human form. It looks like you're about to finish him off as he lies prone on the floor, when you're interrupted by Kyrie, who is none too pleased with the situation.
This isn't what you think.
Why did you do this?
I know, I'll pretend that I was trying to help him shave off that beard with my sword, and she'll be like, right, yes, of course, because that beard looks stupid. It's foolproof.
Nero, we must set aside this battle until I find out the truth of this.
Those were the 7 hardest early bosses that unexpectedly kicked your ass. Thanks so much for watching this week's list video from Outside Xbox. Come on back every single week for another one a little bit like it, or check out this video here for another list video from Outside Xbox, or over here is one from our sister channel, Outside Extra. And here is a brand new t-shirt coming soon to the Outside Xbox merch store. Check the link in the description, and let's all get wearing them. I'll see you next time.